Okay guys, for today, on the 8th of April, you're going to be doing two-step equation worksheet. It's already going to be uploaded in your grade sheet, so you can go ahead and print those. On a side note, you guys can go ahead and work on the worksheet itself. You don't have to do that on paper unless you choose to do so, okay? Okay, so you're really going to see three types of problems on this worksheet. You're going to see simple problems like number 3. I didn't write number 3 because you guys should know how to do it, but I'll show you here very quickly an example. 3p minus 2 equals negative 29. This is number 3, okay? So these are just going to be two-step equations. You're going to move the constants to one side and solve for the variables. So you would add 2, right? Add 2. 29 minus 2 is negative 27. And this is 3p. So you're going to divide by the 3, divide by the 3, and you have p equals negative 9. Okay? Simple. Simply move the constants to one side, solve for the variable. When you get to these equations, notice that you have a fraction with a constant, and you still have to move the constant, but then you're going to have to do something with this fraction. So I'm going to show you how to do this type of a problem. Now, I'm going to erase this to give myself some room. And I want you guys to focus on the like terms, which is the 4 and 5. So I'm going to subtract the 4 in order to move it to the other side. And I'm going to end up with 1. I'm going to bring down the r over 10. Now, I have a missing missing dividend. It's kind of confusing to see it like this, but if I write r over 10 equals 1, and I put 1 over 1, you can see that I have a proportion. So I'm going to say r times 1 is r, 1 times 10 is 10. The solution is r equals 10. Okay? I could also solve the same problem this way. I'm going to take times it by 10. The idea is you want to clear the denominator, and the way that you clear the denominator, since the r is being divided by 10, you want to do the inverse of division, which is multiplication. So you want to multiply by 10. Whatever you do to one side, you always have to do to the other side. So I'm going to multiply by 10, and you're going to see that the solution is 10. So if you want to put a 1 underneath a whole number to create a proportion and solve it, that's okay. Or you can clear the denominator by multiplying whatever's in the denominator on both sides, and there is your solution. That is also fine. So let's look at this side. I do not have a constant to combine with 7. The 4 over here had nothing underneath it. It had no variable next to it. It had nothing underneath it. So I could move it over. This situation is not like that. Don't make the mistake of trying to take the 10 and move it over to the 7. Those are not like terms because this entire unit is one expression. So what you have to do is what I did over here. You have to clear the denominator by multiplying by what's in the bottom, which is the 2. So I'm going to multiply this side by 2, and then I'm going to multiply this side by 2. Now let me move all of this out of the way. And we'll multiply this side by 2. And I'm going to say, since I canceled that, what's left over? K minus 10 equals 14. 7 times 2 is 14. Now I have cleared my denominator by getting rid of it and multiplying it on both sides. Now I have a constant that I can add on both sides. And so my solution is K equals 24. Now, if you wanted to try to do it as a proportion like I did the other problem, then this is what you would do. Okay, here's my original problem. I'm going to put this 1 underneath. Now I've created a proportion. And I'm going to say cross multiply. So K minus 10 times 1. Anything times itself, 1 is itself. So K minus 10 stays the same. 2 times 7 equals 14. And now you can see that you've created the same type of problem. Plus 10, plus 10, you have 24, equals K. So either way you do it, if you do the steps correctly, you should come up with the same solution. I'm looking at the problem, and the only thing I would advise you on number 14 when you have a negative 5 plus n over 3 equals 0, be sure that you look at which one is the coefficient, which one is the constant. In this case, the constant is negative 5 and 0, so you have to combine the negative 5 with the 0 by adding 5 to both sides and then continuing to proceed. That should cover about every scenario on this worksheet. If you have questions, please let me know.